Good afternoon, YouTube. How in the world are you today? Well, we hope you're doing good. We hope you're warm, actually. Now, if you've been following along with us over the last few videos, I've been talking about how cold it's been here in Kansas. And boy, I got to tell you, some of the coldest weather we've had all year long. But today, I'm happy to report we have a ray of sunshine coming through the clouds. We have a ray of sunshine actually coming through the windows. And so that's pretty doggone nice. We're excited. In fact, as I look over my thermometer, it's 50 degrees outside. Can you believe that? Going from like zero minus between that minus 10 down to 50? Wow, that's pretty exciting. And so maybe you can put that in the comments. What's it like in your neck of the woods? How warm or cold is it where you live? And so we would love to hear that. But speaking of that ray of sunshine, I got to tell you, I think I got something pretty cool for you. Let me start off by telling you about a gentleman. His name is Theodore. And I ran across this ad on Facebook Marketplace, and I never met him before. And so I've been watching this ad, and he had this socket set. And in fact, it's called the Ray socket wrench set. And so can you believe that? The ray, that's the reason why. Can you get it? The ray of sunshine. And so the ray socket wrench set. And so I was watching his ad there for a little bit, and it was up there for a little bit. And the gentleman was asking $100. And so I went through and was watching it, and you know, it was still there. And so I just thought, you know what, I want to text him. I want to send him a message. And I told him, I said, hey, you know, my name is Jesse, and we have this YouTube channel called Jesse's Garage, and we kind of restore old tools. We like to bring them back to life and kind of preserve them and bring them back to their former glory. And so I think that kind of intrigued Theodore just a little bit, because he texted me back and he asked me for the channel name, and then he looked it up, and incidentally, at the same time I offered him, I said, hey, listen, I can't pay you that much probably for that, but I can pay you $40 for it. And so he said, well, send me your channel, let me check it out. And so he did, and he texted me back and he says, you know what, I really like what you're doing over there. And so, and that just made me feel good. And so he actually let us have it for that discounted price. Can you believe that? What a stand-up guy, man. And I got to tell you, I met up with him to pick up the socket set, and he is just remarkable. And some of his tools that's in his collection, when you were showing me a video, wow, enough to make this guy jealous. And so, Theodore, on behalf of Jesse's Garage, we'd like to say thank you so very much for giving us this opportunity to be able to present this set to our channel and to our subscribers and all the viewers that are watching. We appreciate you. So thank you very much for that, Theodore. We appreciate you very much. Okay, enough of the setup. Talking about the ray of sunshine, we're going to talk about the ray socket wrench set. Are you ready? Okay, let's go jump in and let's go see what we have over here in this little black box. All right, here we go. Okay, and we are back. And so we have our little black box that's in front of us here. You can see that it has a little bit of patina on it. And so I think the box is pretty cool in itself. You know, one of the things I want to show you here on the flip side, check out how this box is made here. And so it's actually kind of pushed through with these little tabs, and it's bent over, and that's what's holding the box together. Is that cool or what? Typically you see them bent over and with a brake or something like that, but this one actually, it's just cool the way it's just made. So I love that. And so anyways, as I'm coming through and looking at this, and so we have our little latch right up front, so we'll open that up, and I'm going to scoot it back just a little bit, and you'll notice right inside here, check out that logo. See if I can hold it up a little bit closer. Man, is that beautiful or what? The Ray socket wrench. And so it's a Packer Auto Specialty Company, New York, and then Chicago. And so, wow, is that gorgeous or what? Man, this is a first for me. I've never had this. Now, I did see it, the Ray socket wrench set on another channel. In fact, if I think the channel's name is Spider Loves Beer or something like that. Anyways, he has some really cool stuff. I'll try to put that link in the description that way. But anyways, as we're going through and we're looking at this beautiful set here, you'll notice a few things. We have these hex sockets that are here. And incidentally, this set, if I remember right, I think it dates back to the 1916 or 1920. I'll put it up on the screen when I get back to the computer and I start doing some editing. But that's how far back this goes. Now, this set, from my research, it shows that it was a number 22 is what it went for. And so as we go through and we look at this, and so the very first piece I'm going to pull out here, this is actually the ratchet that came with it. And so if we flip it over just like that and slide it through, now you'll notice this part right here, as we go through and look at this part is the ratcheting side. Man, how cool is that, right? And so you can go through and you can flip it one way or the other, and you can go through and make that happen. Now, I don't know, but it kind of looks like there's a little bit of writing on there. Now, we haven't cleaned it up or anything. I just got this set out, and I just thought, you know what, I need to do it. So I'm gonna get in there and make that happen. So that'll be interesting to see how that cleans out. But wow, look at that. This is a ratchet here. And so we flip it back the other way. It's kind of like a tap ratchet, right? So how cool is that? Now it uses this square half-inch insert that's right here. Now notice what's inside here. When I flipped open the box, there was a couple pieces that were, they got twisted over. But look at the anvil that we have here. Has some detent in there. And so we flip it over, and there you go. Now if we grab one of these sockets, it'll flip over just like that. And then again, that's how it goes through, and it does the ratcheting side. And so how beautiful is that? My goodness. Have you ever seen that? Maybe you friends out in the community, you already have this set. And if you do, please put that in the comment. We would love to know. I understand there's not a lot of these out there, but there's a few different models or packages that were made during that time. This is the number 22, according to Alloy Artifacts, is where I found that information. And so how beautiful is that? So I'm going to go through and pull this anvil out, because remember on that last set, the Hinsdale set, I thought I was missing this, but it was actually inserted in one of the other pieces. And so I forget the name, whoever brought that out. But again, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. I thought it was gone forever. But anyways, look at that. That is gorgeous condition, right? I should have worn some gloves, it looks like. And so we have that. Now, a couple other pieces here. So we have this little swivel extension here. Now, this one looks like, yeah, it looks like it needs a little bit of work. I can't get it to, I mean, it'll freely turn this way, but I can't get it to turn this way. So I'm going to put this in the bath, and we're going to go through and try to redo this. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the box. I learned my lesson on the last one. It can get away from you. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose it at all, so I'm not going to do anything, at least with the inside of the box, other than just kind of clean it all up. But anyways, this is frozen. So we're going to see if we can get that undone. So there's that. Even has a spark plug socket that's in here as well. That'll fit there. So how beautiful is that, right? So we'll put that right over here. We have some other miscellaneous sockets that are here, all kinds of different sizes. I didn't notice this here, but this is just probably a little piece of sheet metal. Probably doesn't apply to that. But we have that short anvil extension, and then we have the long anvil that's on here as well. Now on this one here, let's see, I'm just quickly looking it over. I don't see any markings on here, but as we get to cleaning it up, maybe it'll come to life that way. But you can tell, look at that. Look at the stress marks that are on here, or the scratches, or whatever that is. There's probably just scratches. But anyways, you can tell this bad boy was used a little bit, right? And so we have that portion there. And then let's see what else we have here. We have this screwdriver. Now I was looking at the information. It's a double-sided screwdriver. And so that came with it. And so that was an actual piece that fits, that fits right on the end of this ratchet here. And so you can go through and utilize it that way. In fact, I don't think I got it in there all the way. Let's see here. And so as we go through there we go, because that way the screwdriver doesn't move. And so it goes in all the way just like that. And so again, man, look at that. So that's the way that this bad boy will go. And so, wow, love that. So that's kind of cool. I've never had that before. And so I love that portion. And then the rest of it is just sockets. Now, one of the things I noticed when we came over here, and I'm not familiar with this piece here. Look at the profile on this. And so I'm just not familiar. Obviously, this fits on the end of one of these sockets probably. And so I don't know which one it would go to, but it seems like maybe that's what it would go to. There, I'll do a little bit more research and let's see what this may hook onto that way, and then kind of go from there. So I'll look at that. Now, but what I was wanting to show you is that when you look inside the box here, you see how it has this rail right in here. So this built-in rail where the sockets will sit in there, and that keeps them from moving back and forth as long as they're all in there, right? And so it keeps them from falling forward. So that's kind of cool how they made that as well. And so I love that. And so anyways, we got all these pieces. I can't wait to get it in the bath. We're going to go through and clean it all up, and let's see how it materializes into a work of beauty here for us. And so again, we're not going to go crazy on this. We're just going to get all this grease and junk off. As you can see, that's on my fingers here. And then we're just going to go through and just try to do a little bit of wiping down inside the box here as well. This looks like an old piece of cardboard or something like that that I just pulled out of the bottom. It looks like it's kind of got a texture on this side, but that's the only part I see of that inside here. As we go and look at it, we'll see what else we discover as we get going through here. But anyways, that's our find. This is our $40 that Theodore thought, man, that would be cool to be able to feature this on the channel and to clean it up and bring it back to glory. Are you ready? All right, let's go and clean it up and let's see what we can do. All right, let's go throw it in the bath first. Okay, we are back at the bath here. So we're going to go through and kind of throw some of these pieces in there. And so you'll notice that I cleaned my water. I emptied it out. So that part is really good. All right, so we have our different pieces that we're just going to dunk in, and let's see how we do. In fact, we might do this just a little bit different today. And so I'm going to take all of this out for just a moment, and then we're just going to take all the pieces and put it in. That way we're not splashing everywhere. All right, so let me put these all in here, and then let's see what we come up with here at the end. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Man, never had a set like this before, so we are totally pumped up around here. So we're going to throw all these in here, and then we're going to let them go. Now, probably we're only going to let them go probably for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, so there's all the pieces that are there. Now notice I did not throw that little ratchet in there. And the reason why is because, sorry about that, I bumped the camera. The reason why is because I don't know what the inside of that mechanism looks like. So we're going to go through and play around with that for just a minute. I may just do a soft cleaning on that on the outside and go from there. All right, and so now they're soaking in here. I'm going to turn it on because I'm going to go through and show you as we get going. Let me turn my temperature up again, 60, and so we're going to go through and hit that. And then, I keep bumping that camera. And so as I go through, you'll notice that the water is getting darker already. And so let's see if I can move my camera just a little bit closer to us right over here, because I want to give you a close-up view of what it looks like here. So let's see if we can get a little bit closer here. All right, how about that? Is that better? Okay. So now you can see the water getting darker. Now it's hot, So I got it at 60 degrees Celsius, so that's about 130 something degrees Fahrenheit. And so now what I'm going to do is to turn it on. And so it's going to be a little bit loud. I'll turn down the volume, but I want to let you see how the water starts to turn here. Here we go. All right, do we see how it's turning already? Yeah, it's starting to work on that grease already. Okay, we're gonna let it work on this for just a few more minutes and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we pretty much got the box kind of wiped out as far as all the grease and junk that was inside here. So I have a little bit of this finishing paste wax, and I don't know, we're just going to try a little bit. In fact, we're going to try it on the outside of the box first because remember, I didn't want to do a whole lot of finish on here. I just wanted to kind of see, I didn't want to repaint the whole thing. This one, I think it's so old, I just want to leave it as natural as I can. Now, I know this is a bunch of rust and such on here, surface rust, but again, I just want to leave it as about as natural as I found it, minus all the grease junk that's in it. And so, I'm going to see how it reacts out here first, and then I'm going to see how it goes. If this reacts okay, as far as the finish is concerned, then I'll work on the inside lid, and so we'll see how it goes here. So got too much on there, and I know this is pretty close up here, but just trying to get it all on the camera here. So. All right, so we have that. Sorry about all the noise. So now let's just see, kind of take a little rag and kind of come through here. See what this does here. Again, all we're trying to do is just kind of give it a decent, clean look. And again, we know we're not going to do anything with that rust. It's going to stay there. But let's see here. All right, actually I'm not hating on that too terribly bad there. So now let's just put a little bit on that inside cover, and let's just see what that looks like here, okay? All right, so I'm hoping it's going to turn out good, but let's just see here. We got that all dried up, but we'll just start off here on the edges first. And what I'm scared of is that logo. I don't want that logo to go away, so I'm just going to try it a little bit down here in the corner. All right, so think that's about as far as I want to go. I'm too scared. Would you guys be scared, or is it just me? I'm just a big scaredy cat here. All right, so let's see here. If I can kind of come through here and look at this, and let's see what it looks like here. All right, give me just a second here. All right, I think we pretty much got a lot of that preserved right there. So hopefully we didn't take away anything from the way it was. So, but one thing's for sure, it definitely looks a lot cleaner, don't you think? So everything's still nice and readable. All right, I think I'm happy with that. Let's pause, and then we're gonna try to get the tools back in it and kind of go from there. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Now, you might notice my sweatshirt's a little different color. In fact, I didn't even get myself all straightened out today, but my sweatshirt's a little different color, so that means it's the next day. So we went through and got to the point where we kind of were trying to put a little bit of a polish on it, a little bit of a wax, just to kind of preserve it just a little bit and shine it up just a tad. Anyways, we put it all together. A little bit of history on this. Now, you heard me reference that it's a number 22 socket wrench set from Ray. And so as we went through and looked at that material, another couple interesting tidbits is that, can you believe that on that ratchet handle, it dates back, the patent dates back to September the 26th, 1916. Wow. Look at that, over 100 years old, we got this bad boy back in condition here. And so we got that. And then according to that catalog that was displayed in Western Auto and Pittsburgh Forge, I think it was another one, it sold for $10 back then in 1916. And so just a little bit of history on it. Now, I went through and I looked up that photo from back in that catalog. And I put it back together as far as the sockets, how they were lined up and everything was lined up, just like that catalog had it displayed. So I hope you find this thing with approval. I hope you like it. And so you ready? Let's go take a look and see how it turned out. I'm excited. Are you excited? All right, let's go. All right, we are back. And so if you'll notice here, we got it set up, the lid goes all the way back, but man, look at that logo. Now, you know, it still has all the pits and scratches and imperfections in it, but you know what? For me, on this one, I like it. I really, really like it. And so, you know, for us to kind of preserve it in that manner, yeah, we have a little bit of this, but I think instead of just, because I know how it is, I get the sanding on it, and then before you know it, the whole thing comes off. So this one here, it dates back all the way, like I said, to 1916. I want to try to preserve it as much as I can. So I hope that meets your approval. But check this out. As we go through, this is the way they were lined up in the catalog, from the largest all the way going down. And then they had the smallest one over here, just to kind of take up that little bit of a gap that's there. And then, true to fashion, just like most mechanics, as we go through, sometimes we collect a few extra sockets. So there's a few extra sockets because there was only, the catalogs kind of have a little bit of discrepancy according to Alloy Artifacts. Some of them had 18 sockets, some of them had 20 sockets, and so there's not a real clarity. So I figure that this guy probably collected a few extra ones, just in case he needed them, or maybe he ran through them, that sort of thing. So there's a little bit more than that in this collection here. Now, just to give you an idea, we'll pull out this big one right over here just to show you how well it cleaned up. Check that out. My goodness. So that is just beautiful, isn't it? So we can see that the marking on here, so 9/30 seconds, if I'm reading that correctly. It kind of looks like that, right? And so as we go through, we cleaned it all up inside and out. I did put a little bit of oil in there, just kind of wiped it down. And so just to kind of preserve it, keep that rust from coming back. Not that it's ever going to see the light of day as far as wrenching on anything, but we're going to do our part to keep this bad boy going. And so as we go on down, the smallest one that we have over here, I don't know if we can see a date on here or not, but let's look and see, or excuse me, a size. So this one over here does look like it has a size, 5/16 maybe. Is that what that says right there? I'm hoping that's what that says. So you can see pretty small, clean inside and out. So we love that. That bath, incidentally, wow, pretty phenomenal stuff, right? Now, it had all of the 6-point sockets in it, but then it also came with the square drive sockets as well. Now, one thing I did notice in the catalog, there's supposed to be 3 of these. So I'm missing one, unfortunately. And so that's a bummer deal. But I'll be on the lookout if I ever find another square socket that I think might go to this set. So we'll look at that. Now, remember we had that long extension. It came with 2 different anvils. So this one here is here. And just to give you an idea, I'll see if I can get my tape measure here. And let's measure this bad boy out. So this one here is sitting right about almost 8 3/4. So 8 7/8, or excuse me, 8 5/8 or so. And so that's kind of what we're looking at. Now you can tell, remember we're kind of pointing out those stress marks or dents, and that's what it is. They're just, boy, you can tell this guy just kind of was working this wrench. But isn't that part of the history though? Don't we love that? That it was actually used. And so I love that. So we'll put that back in place. You might notice that I put a little bit of this drawer liner down here just to kind of cushion things up. I don't know what it is. I think it kind of gives it a cleaner look, and then I just want to kind of give it the care and love that it needs. Is that cuckoo or what? So anyways, so we have the smaller anvil. Now remember, on the smaller anvil, it fits inside this ratchet handle here. And so it would go just like that, and then the sockets go on there. Now with this handle, you'll notice that as we go through, it kind of flips up and then it slides in this direction. And so that's how the T-handle portion works. And then, of course, you know, it slides back through and it folds back into itself that way. And so that's kind of cool, right? And then one last thing, if you need a little bit more leverage, then you can grab this bad boy just right over here and push it all the way through. And now you got a little bit more leverage instead of just the T-handle. So multi-function ratchet here. And so I love that. And so it kind of folds back over. Now, remember we had some writing on here. Let's see if we can kind of find that and see if we can get it in the camera for you. This is where I got that date code. You see that there, September 26, 1916 on that patent. And so, wow, look at that. It all came to light whenever we did that. Now, one thing I didn't do, I didn't take this apart since I'm not familiar with it. I didn't want to go through and risk taking it apart and everything just disintegrating on me. So I just put a little bit of WD-40, a little bit of oil in there, and man, this bad boy just clicks away, and the reverse works just the other way, and so voila. And so you can tell I put some of that oil that's in there, and so we're going to go through and continually go through and clean that part up. And we kind of wipe that down just a little bit. And so we're going to work with that just to make sure we get as much of that extra WD-40 out of there. But man, look at that. What do you think? You love that? You like that? You hate that? Put it in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking that way. For me, man, it's 100% love. I got to tell you, I love that. Okay, so now we have that there. We have the socket, the spark plug socket that was here. So we love that part too. So that was another find. Remember we had the universal joint, and so remember how it was frozen up? So now it's kind of flowing in different directions. Still binds just a little bit in a particular area, but at least it's free now. So so we love that. Man, look at that. They don't make them like that no more, do they? And so I love that. And then we also had this portion right over here, which was that screwdriver. Now, according to the catalog, it came with this 2-size screwdriver that fits on the end of this. Remember I showed you in the beginning of the video? That actually was part of the package, part of the number 22 package that way. So, man, that's killer, isn't it? Now, this part right down here, remember I asked in the earlier part of the video when we were cleaning it up, is anybody familiar with this? Well, I couldn't find it in any of the kits that came with it. So this may have just been an extra piece that the guy had. He was working on a project or something like that. It's pretty flared out when it comes to this portion here. So this may just be an extra piece, but I'm going to keep it in here just in case you find people tell me otherwise, because man, we got some pretty smart people in our little tool community we got going on here. So we love that. All right, so there you go. That is the Ray socket wrench set. And so have you seen this before? Do you have one of these? Please put that in the comments. We would love to hear that. And so, and then tell us a little bit about your history. In fact, if you have it, you might send a picture over to me in my email. It's in the description there. And so I would love to see what else is out there. And so pull that latch back just a little bit, shut it, and away we go. So this is our little find here. Again, thank you to Theodore. All right, we'll be right back here. Okay, there you have it. That's our Ray socket wrench set, number 22. Wow, I love that thing, don't you? Man, so Theodore, again, we just wanted to give you one last shout out to say thank you for playing your part in preserving some tool history. Without you, we probably may not have got this, and wow, you're a stand-up guy. Thank you very much for that, Theodore. And so, friends, subscribers, if you're out there, please express your comments to Theodore, or just tell us what you think about the socket set. How did it turn out? Do you like it? Did I make a mistake by not cleaning up the box, or did I do that right? Did I keep it just the way it was and just threw a little bit of wax on it? Give me some thoughts. I would love to know that, just because it's so hard to tell every time, right? Now, if it's your first time here, please hit subscribe. Welcome to Jesse's Garage. We would love to have you join our channel. Hit that like button, that share button as well. And so kind of tell your friends about it. And then let's kind of go from there. All right, friends, until next time, we'll see you on the next video.